Okay, today we're going to be learning about the difference between scalars and vectors. So scalars and vectors both have something called a magnitude right here. And a magnitude is kind of like a size. So scalars only have a magnitude or a size, and vectors have a magnitude or a size and also a direction. So for example, if I have a ball right here and I push it to this position over here, and I measure how far I pushed it, and I find out that it was 3 meters. Then I can go and tell my friend that I pushed my ball 3 meters, and in doing so, I'm telling them only the 3 meters. I'm not telling them where I pushed the ball. So that is just giving them the magnitude or the size, and so it's a scalar quantity. And so that scalar quantity is called distance. Which is 3 meters. Okay, so if I told my friend I pushed my ball 3 meters to the left, that would be giving them a magnitude and a direction, so it would be a vector quantity, and that quantity is called displacement. And that is 3 meters to the left. And when you tell your friend the displacement and you tell them 3 meters and the direction to the left, they can then replicate the motion of you pushing that ball by themselves because they know how far you pushed it and where you pushed it to. So if you just told your friend the scalar quantity or the distance that you pushed your ball 3 meters, they wouldn't know where to push that ball if you asked them to repeat that motion. So that's a good way to remember the difference between scalars and vectors, is vectors give more direction so someone else could replicate what you're doing. Okay, so now let's talk about speed and velocity. Speed answers the question how fast, and velocity answers the question how fast also, and then it also says in what direction. And so the speed, when it answers how fast, it's measured in meters per second, and then velocity is measured in meters per second also, and then gives the direction, so to the blank, and you can fill in whatever the direction word is that you need. So another example is this time if we had a box and we push it over here, measure how far we pushed it, and this time it turns out to be 10 meters, and it took us a time of 2 seconds. Then we can measure the speed by saying, okay, meters per second, 10 meters. So let's plug that in, 10 meters in 2 seconds. So we can simplify that, and it becomes 5 meters per second. And again, that is a speed, which is a scalar quantity because it's only giving a magnitude, it's not giving a direction. So if we were to come over here and figure out the velocity of us pushing our box, it would again be that 10 meters per 2 seconds, which we figured out was 5 meters per second. So you can write that again over here, 5 meters per second. Then we need the direction to make it a vector, so we say to the right. And that is our velocity, which is a vector because it has a magnitude and a direction. So that is the difference between scalars and vectors and how that applies to speed and velocity.